Hello everybody! We are in an empty server doing some grinding, ready for the Q&A, and there was a fly in my room that I have just lost track of. But my door is shut, so he can't leave my room. So he's going to be somewhere the entire time I'm doing this. Anyways, while we grind with some Wolfram, today we're going to go through the Q&A questions. We got 15 responses. So first up, QnA asks, if an Osprey is traveling southwest at 80 miles per hour, and I'm heading north at 5 studs per second because I'm over-encumbered with an ungodly amount of flax on a Sunday before a blue moon and at the velocity of a throne goose, also known as the cobra chicken, does this flying rat beats pineapple? And the answer to that, unfortunately, is I don't know. I would send a Tole Tole gif with a pineapple as a response. Also, because this is the next part of the question, do you think they will implement wedding/wedding attire? To that I'd say no. Roblox doesn't have that 17 plus rating, and the last thing Rise wants is like an ODing epidemic. Not overdosing, it's worse. Online dating. So I don't believe we're going to get wedding/wedding attire. And then the comment says, if so, will you be my wife? Asking for a friend. Unfortunately, I am male, but if I do become transgender, you will be the first to know. I assure you of that. And then I can become someone's wife. Next question. Vlad, Volume 4, asks, what is your favorite metal band? I'm not a huge fan of metal. But when I was younger, I played the shit out of The Conquerors 3. It's a cute little Roblox RTS game. And I played a ton of AC/DC music. So if I had to pick, I'd probably pick AC/DC, because I'm very nostalgic for pretty much anything AC/DC. Next up, Borgbread asks, what is your favorite long-range Northwind weapon? That's difficult. I love the aesthetics of the Jaeger rifle, now called the Bayern. I really like the aesthetics of the Reed rifle. And the Tane is probably the best of all three of them. That's hard. I think I'd probably choose the Reed, because it's right now the better Jaeger rifle. So, probably that one. Dior Shane, fuck you, asks, who is your celebrity crush other than me? Well, apart from Dior Shane, I don't know if you guys remember this show. Growing up, there was a show called Jessie. So if you've ever seen Jessie, what the hell's her name? The blonde teenager in that show, Peyton List, was adorable. And so I loved that show for Peyton List when I was a kid. Positive 8130 asks, what's your favorite color, and what is your least favorite color? My favorite color is probably gonna be cornflower blue, which is this color. Oh, hold on. Right here on my stamina bar, that's cornflower blue. Very pretty color, maybe like a purplish hue. Sounds incredibly gay to describe out loud, but that is my favorite color. I fucking love that color. Least favorite color, anything red, I'm probably not a huge fan of. Just, I don't know, I'm kind of tired of like reds. In general, I think blues are cooler than reds. GamerBro3217. These names sound like they're AI generated. Positive 8130, GamerBro3217, Borgbread3056. I swear to God, these sound so AI generated today. Anyway, GamerBro says, what are your thoughts on Nusic's permaban from all of Rise's projects? So this one is interesting. I think it's pretty obvious that Nusic shouldn't be permabanned from every single thing Rise creates ever. That's kind of an overreaction for Nusic, and his reaction to the Rise team. I don't agree with some of the things Nusic claims. I agree with some of the things he claims. It's a mixed bag. I think it's kind of silly to be like, okay, silence him, and he disappears from everything ever. That's a pretty shit way to deal with people in general, right? If the Streisand effect doesn't fuck your plans over, just conventional people will. And yeah, I mean, we saw this like with Andrew Tate, right? When you ban him off all the platforms, he gets insanely popular. So unfortunately, it's just not a very good way to deal with people. Oh fuck, I found the fly. So yeah, I wouldn't do that if I was Rise. I'd probably unban Nusic from everything. it's just not a very good way to deal with conflict in general, just to silence opinions like that. It's a very Lazarus, Spartan way of dealing with things, so yeah, I wouldn't do it if I was Riot's. Is what it is. I don't agree with all of Nusic's takes, but that's a crap way to deal with it. That's just my 2 cents on it. Personally, I like the team. I like the Riot's team. I think they do very good by the player base. They've done a lot of great updates, even though people don't like them. Well, some people don't like them. I think they're probably better liked than the previous team. But I personally like the Riot's team, even though they banned me. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. Oh, fuck, the flies landed on my AC unit. Oh, he fucked off. Never mind. Never mind, he fucked off. Alright, do I think... Oh, yeah. Stefan PO8HP says, do you think the game is dying? If so, what would be a way to revive the game? I don't think Northwind's dying. We're in a bit of a lull right now. We're a little bit stagnant. What would be a way to revive it? Overhaul native gameplay. Do so by adding native gameplay. That would be wonderful. If we got some native gameplay, I would come instantly. We need native gameplay. We have no native gameplay. They're nothing. They're literally nothing. It's a nothing burger of a team. Instead of doing things like adding NFC, which has no new gameplay, adding 5 Nations of Canada, which has no new gameplay, natives should get some gameplay. I don't know what it would be. I don't know how you do it. You'd have to make it unique from Kalos. It would have to be as entertaining as Kalos. That's a very tall order. Again, I'm not working on the team. I'm not doing game dev stuff for this team, so I don't know where I'd begin. Maybe that's a topic for another video. But if I was manning the ship, I would definitely focus on making native a thing worth doing, because right now it is a cute little role that is directly harmed by pretty much every combat mechanic it gets. Okay, you incentivize to use bows, and bows are objectively worse than guns in 99.9% of combat. You incentivize to use native melee weapons and shit, because you can, ensure them essentially for free, and they're unlootable, which are worse than Kalo weapons across the board. Yeah, sure, you have them for free, so it's a good little raiding class, but you're just going to be outmatched by every Kalo you run into. So, yeah, natives are incentivized overall to use weapons that are objectively worse than their Kalo counterparts. I would get to work fixing that if I wanted to overhaul an element of this game, and that's absolutely where I'd start. No, I don't think the game's dying. It's just stagnant, and we've survived in far worse conditions. Under Fred for far longer. People always give the Riot's team shit, but they forget the 1.5 years on either side of Stonemoor, where this game got 0 content whatsoever, and it was averaging like 100 players. So yeah, don't forget that. Just keep in mind where we are compared to that awful, awful time. Majulans NFS asks, what are your thoughts on building rules for non-combat houses? Personally, I think they ruin the game, with it being a PvP game with loot that can be hard or time-consuming to be forced to build a non-secure house you'll never spawn in, or alt accounts. So personally, I fucking hate house rules. In general, I think it should be laissez-faire. I think dev team, hands off, don't touch my house. I think it should be as abusable as you want it to be. I think it should be as abusable as humanly fucking possible. You can make inaccessible things. You can put down 1,000 doors with overhangs and padlocks. You can break house rules. You can build houses where you shouldn't. And I think the way to combat the latter is pretty obvious. You just make no build zones. But with all of that in play, I think houses... Oh, fuck me. Houses should be as abused as humanly possible, and the dev team should rein it in with conventional mechanics. So, yeah, no build zones are big. Maybe a door limit, if that becomes too big of a problem. Some sort of way to make it so that you can't... have a room that doesn't have at least one door leading to it. If you want to fix any of the problems with the game, I would start with that, in terms of house abuse. But to be honest, I think house abuse is perfectly fine as long as it's not blocking a point of access, because no one has a right to raid your house. Like, imagine we lived in a world in Northwind where people could just loot your bank space. Like, think about how insane that is, And now just replace that with house, and it's like, oh, so people have a right to loot your house? You have a right to make your house less defensible? That's kind of bullshit to me. So, yeah, if I ran the game, I would make houses as abusable as humanly possible by removing all rules, and then I would put in-game restrictions, so like X amount of locks, or X amount of doors, or you know, certain regions you can build houses, and that's how I'd fix houses, because I personally think you should make houses as crazy as you want them to be, with zero restriction, because no one has the right to take your shit, and I think it's stupid that we have all of these arbitrary restrictions on house designs, and they can't be, like, too difficult to raid, or else you're breaking a rule. I think it's stupid to break a rule by making a house too difficult to raid, and that is my house take in summary. Aliyah You the Blue asks, will there be any Escape from Tarkov content soon? To that I say, if people liked it more, I would continue doing Tarkov content. I'm not really in a Tarkov mood right now, and unfortunately, no one really cares about Tarkov content. It's not a Tarkov channel, and so I do not get much viewership on Tarkov videos. Not that I've made many, but if that was a bigger thing with bigger demand and I was more interested in it at the time, I'd probably make more Tarkov content. But as it stands, no one watches them, and I'm not super into Tarkov at the moment. I'm not, like, playing it a ton. When they get a new update, I'll check it out again. But at the time, I'm very burnt out. I've got 1,400 hours in Tarkov. I've definitely played enough Tarkov for one lifetime. Not that I'll stop playing the game, but uploading videos on it is iffy at best, especially given how oversaturated Tarkov content is. Why is there so much gold in here? Okay. Sometimes Dev6150 asks, would you play an FPS version of Northwind? Yes, I probably would. I hope sometime we get some kind of Steam equivalent of Northwind. That would be fucking awesome. I would be insanely happy. Did I go in a circle? I just went in a circle in game. Sorry. I'd love an FPS Northwind equivalent, because that just sounds really cool. And there's a lot of fun ideas here, because there is no colonial game like this. You know, there is no colonial equivalent to Northwind on any Steam library. There's no game like this. There's a ton of MMORPGs that share mechanics with Northwind, but you're not going to find any set in this time frame, in this time period, with combat, like, you know, directional PvP like Northwind's got for the melee stuff. So I would love to see a port on the Steam library. I don't know how you'd fucking do that, but I would absolutely play a first-person Northwind as well. Although I think the third-person stuff really shines. And so if you did want to do, like, a faithful recreation of this on, you know, something Steam-related, then I would like to see it third-person with controls similar to Northwind in terms of, like, camera stuff. Because, I don't know, the Roblox camera control scheme is just iconic. You know, you third-person where you can peek around corners and all that shit. It's just iconic, you know, and games like Unturned do a very good job with that, so I hope more games are, like, you know, faithful Roblox ports, like Unturned was. RageIX asks, are you a Drake fan? It's a pedophile joke, and no, I can't stand rap. I listened to Drake a couple times. I don't know why the fuck anyone likes this kind of music. It's fucking awful, it's boring, it's dull, it's irritating. I'd be put to sleep by a Drake song before I'd ever enjoy one. I don't know why people listen to this shit. Yeah, I have no idea what anyone sees in that kind of music. I like maybe 2 rappers ever. To be fair, I feel the same about country. So it is what it is. Not a fan of that kind of music whatsoever. Would you consider making your own clan? Asked by Mate7569. I did in the past. It's just so much work to maintain that it's kind of not worth it. And there's no real benefit. I'm not really in a faction-leading mood. I definitely prefer making solo content. I definitely prefer playing solo or small groups of friends. Faction leading is just a whole nother skill set, and I've done it in the past for different games and all that, so I can do it. I just really don't have the drive to do it right now. And there's not a ton I'd really want to do faction-wise, so probably not in the, you know, not in the current day. Probably not in the distant future either. And yeah, it's just a shit ton of stuff to manage on top of already managing a channel. Carl Waynice Karen 9557 says, is the game Jover? Like, look at everything that's happened, except for NFC disbanding, which is a huge W. Is the game dead or is there still hope? Nope. I think it's just stagnant. Again, if you look at the player numbers on Rollimon, if you look at, any measurable, like, metric, right, you can look at the player base. It's spread out more than it has been in the past ages. The game is, you can probably argue, stagnant, but the numbers don't lie. The game is doing well, right? We've got 200, 300, 400 players on a good day. It's the summer, so everyone's out in force playing this game, and I don't think I'd say the game is dead. You could definitely argue that it's stagnant, and we haven't had a huge content drop in a very long time. I would not say it's dead, though. And then lastly, user JI4W5NC7N says, "Can I be your boyfriend with, like a Chinese cartman, PFP?" No. That's all I gotta say about that. Thank you all for submitting your questions. I do appreciate it. I hope this has been a truly enlightening Q&A. And thank you, especially Shane Bro, for listening to this whole video. Alright, that's all we got for today. More content soon from me and, well, just me, really. It's not like a collaboration channel. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching.